Invictus director David Wiseman exposed Harry's rogue move while giving Meg adequate punishments. Prince Harry's friend opened up about the Duke of Sussex's rogue Invictus Games move. His friend David Wiseman, also the director at the Invictus Games Foundation, explained how Harry was caught going rogue at the launch event for the games. According to the director, the Duke of Sussex created his own time frame for the Invictus Games after visiting the Warrior Games in 2013. Wiseman said, "We didn't realise the time frame that he made in mind. Bearing in mind that was May 2013, we went back to the Warrior Games that afternoon and he stood on stage at the podium, and I think it had been written in his speech that vision to say, 'Look, we'd like to do this.' I think that he'd added his own note that said next year. We went rogue. We were like, what, next year?" For a long time, there were 3 or 4 of us at the Royal Foundation managing this project. September 2014, we were there, Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. It may have been by the skin of our own teeth, but we were there. Wiseman spoke about his experience of attending the Warrior Games in America with Prince Harry, adding, "We were sitting down at breakfast, it wasn't a meeting or anything like that, and Harry said, 'Look, this is absolutely brilliant. What we've seen here is absolutely brilliant. What we need to do is internationalise this. We need to invite allies and nations from all over the world. We're going to put it in the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. It needs to be on the BBC. This is going to be massive. We'll have a closing concert." Wiseman added, "I have to admit that Harry was bold in creating a replica of the US Warrior Games, but he tried very hard and purely to build an international playground for veterans. But unfortunately, he's probably commercialising Invictus and tarnishing the reputation of our organisation since he let his wife Meghan Markle get involved." There have been many emails from fans about the Invictus Foundation since Invictus Games Germany 2023. They asked the organisation to remove Harry from his role, but that takes time because he was instrumental in founding it. Members in the board of directors are suggesting a plan to give him a chance, but on the condition that Miss Markle cannot participate in any more events. If Harry had watched his own documentary, Heart of Invictus, he would have had many stories of veterans to share in his speeches. Meghan could have skipped talking about milkshakes and praised the veteran who overcame adversity to make it to Invictus. If the pair had worn Invictus gear instead of attempting a fashion show, they could have blended in as supporters and workers. They could be a couple who showed they actually cared about the veterans in the games. If Meghan had walked behind the marching veterans, they could have shown their respect for men and women who've sacrificed all for ongoing fight for democracy. If they would have watched the games instead of mugging for the cameras, they could have shown their interest in their teams. If they would have acted thoroughly professional instead of letting the smell of smoke waft from their hotel room, they could have shown that they're serious representatives of Invictus. They've been acting as if they're the special guests of the show, and it's not a good look. They just don't learn.